Hello, you beautiful bunch. Just getting myself ready, just taking my jumper off so that I'm not sweating whilst I'm talking to you. How are we? I like the fact that I gave you a bit of notice today, so you've actually jumped on. How are you all? Today's going to be a bit of a weird one in the sense that, thank you, love. I've just been given some water. Today's going to be a bit of a weird one in the sense that David and I are going to talk a little bit about what we've been up to. Because we've been a bit AWOL, as some of you would have noticed. And then he's going to be in and out because he's got a couple of deliveries arriving, unfortunately, in about 5-10 minutes. So he's going to come on in a minute. And then let me just check the phone. The microphone should be echoing. Can everybody else hear okay? Is it just AC that's getting the echo, or is anybody else getting the echo? Please let me know. And we can go from there. Definitely nothing else going on YouTube from my end, which is obviously where we are. We're going live directly onto YouTube. I don't know what that means. 5 out of 5, I guess. Okay, cool. JC, what I would encourage you to do is drop off and then maybe come back on, and in the hope that you will be able to just shift that echo, because it looks as if we are, it's just you guys, it's just you. Okay, cool. So, like I was saying, David and I have been up to so much mischief in the last week. I'm going to be sharing all tonight on Conscious Conversations. So, to my beautiful community, I will see you in a couple of hours where I will share all of this to you, for you. It's one heck of a ride, but it's this topic is very important. We were going to do a whole session on what we did last week, but we actually feel that this topic is so much more important, as everybody is kind of like complaining about things at the moment. And I'm not putting people down by saying that, but it's like, oh, my elbow's hurting, or my knees hurting, or my foot's hurting, or so and so's got cancer, or all of these things are going on right now. So David and I were speaking on last week, and we just decided that we were going to do a video on healing. And then last Friday, during his videos on whatever, Mahoney Live, maybe, I don't know, we ended up speaking about healing, and it was so beautiful, and it went so well. JC, I'm going to share everything with you. I'm going to put all of the links. I know that I forgot to do that because David won't give me admin access to his group, so it's very difficult for me to post anything in there. He just turned around as if to say, hey, hang on a minute. But it's true, I'm not an admin in there, so I can't just go in and start conversations or post links and stuff like that. So my apologies for that. I'm going to share everything. And as I'm looking at this, we've got 111 people watching, so you can't complain at that. Are you going to come and show your face, young man?
I am indeed.
Yeah?
I am.
Come and give the ladies something to look at.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. And is that sound quality okay? You're getting us nice and loud on the mic?
Somebody had an echo, but I just told them to drop off and come back because nobody else was getting it.
Is it in their own head?
It's in their head, darling.
It's in their head. Yeah.
I think it's one of your people, actually, because he was watching the video the other day. Look at the state of you.
What's the matter?
He's such a messy bugger, just so that you guys know.
Never stop.
So let's keep this bit brief, because I know you're going to have to shoot off in a second.
I'm coming back in and out. I've just got to go and open the gates.
Yeah. What did we do last week?
We went to Germany last week on a little mission, which ended up being very, very weird. Again, I had to go and do something, and I said, Lucy, do you want to come to Germany? She says, yes. I said, are you sure?
No, I didn't say it quite that convincingly, but in January I kept being told that I had to go to Germany, and Hitler was basically calling me, so I was like, oh, okay.
She had something to do with Hitler there, so I said, okay, I have to go for 2 days. Come on, let's go. Jump on a flight. So as we got to Germany,
we're not going into too many details.
We're not going into too many details, but
we're talking about healing tonight.
Which parts are we going to talk about then? Can I talk about it?
Just real high level, shit hit the fan.
Shit hit the fan. Basically, I said, I'll be back in an hour, babe. I went to do something, and it was to do with my driving license, that whole government institution stuff. They didn't like it. The woman was in a bad mood. She ended up ringing the police on me, saying, I'm suspicious of this man. There's something fishy going on. The cops came.
Took him away.
Took me to the police station for about 3 hours, maybe a little bit, around about 2.5, 3 hours. The whole thing took for nothing. And I was saying, what are you looking for? Tell me what you're looking for, and I'll help you. Oh, this is suspicious. You used to be here, now you're not here, now you're back again. But in the meantime, Lucy went for a walk, did a live, and she had an incident where she was grabbed by somebody. And
let's not go into too much detail
no.
because I know the language you use, and that's not happening on my YouTube channel.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
She was grabbed by somebody when we're still a bit confused. We both have our theories about it. We both feel it wasn't anything to do with an attempted abduction or a robbery. I think the guy was just like saw the light and didn't know what to do and became slightly confused. So while I was being distracted and held by typical another police situation, Lucy was in this situation where she was, I don't know if this was a threat, was it something good, something bad? So again,
this happens a lot with us, doesn't it? It's like distraction taking place over here, and we're going to try and do whatever here. And the work that we're not going to speak about, we will speak about it next week, I promise. But David hasn't done a video for us yet, have you, darling?
From where we were?
Yes.
No.
So,
are you not going to tell them where we were?
No, not now. We'll do that when we've got the
It's
video.
not my, I can't force it, guys. So.
It's never a dull moment. This is very true. Dating this beautiful specimen sat next to me, it's never a dull moment, but he probably would say the same about me.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's, constantly talking and asleep all night long with our guides and spirit guides and intel coming in. I have to try and decipher a lot of it. It is unusual, but I don't think I'd change it. I'm very happy.
Oh, you're so cute.
You wouldn't give me any of the mango earlier, though.
No, I wouldn't. Anyway, who wants to talk about healing? I think it's time that we talk about healing. So as I mentioned in the description field, and if you haven't checked that out, please do go and check that out. David and I have got differing opinions on healing, but we've also got a lot of very similar opinions on healing, haven't we? So we're both very aligned with, in regards to vaccines, in regards to, certain things that we're told that we have to do. We're very aligned in that. But I will find a plant no matter what, and I would rather avoid medication, where David, obviously, he's just like, yeah, cool, I'll do whatever I need to do. So when I say there's discrepancies or differences, that's what I'm talking about. There isn't any, we don't ever get on at each other for healing or anything like that.
No, but saying that, for example, I don't like taking medicines. What I don't mind doing is taking natural medicines that are derived from plants, such as like ivermectin's made from a mushroom in Japan originally, a fungi. B17, which is the cancer treatment stuff that I do. This is made from apricots, and it was banned because it works. So taking a medicine that's plant-based, that's natural-based, yes, I'm okay with. But I don't really reach for painkillers such as what would be one of the brand names, Nurofen, or any of these large ones, just because I've got a bit of a headache or a toothache.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to push something through. For a toothache, for example, I would take clove oil, which is very good on there. But one thing we do agree in is the major illnesses are caused by a lot of you calling it in. Yeah. And Lucy specializes in this, as you know, the energetics behind something. I'll give you one example. My mother, cancer, stage 4 cancer. Why? And Lucy called out exactly why she had this. And I was like, I've always known that. That's her personality. And I
didn't know anything about your mother at the time, did I?
Until you'd met her.
Nothing at all.
Then you were confirmed that you were right.
We'll keep that off camera. Okay, so just before we go a little bit deeper into the energetic side of stuff, let's talk about what is healing? Because people talk about healing being, people doing this with their hands over a body. For me, my interpretation of healing is giving yourself the ability, the opportunity, using any different which way that you can, to actually make yourself feel better. So be better than you currently are. So if you've got a headache, you can heal your head by doing X, Y, or Z, or recognizing X, Y, or Z. What's your take on healing?
I would say recovering from something that's making you not 100%.
Okay.
So getting back to 100%. So whatever it is, that would be my goal. Say, hey, I don't feel 100%. I want to get back to 100%. Firing on all 12 cylinders. How do I do it? What do I need to do? But a lot of this is a mental battle as well, because, how many people out there know a hypochondriac in the family and friend circle? I know quite a few. Always reaching for a pill. Something wrong with me. They have books all over the place saying how to pick up symptoms of unknown diseases and afflictions. You know, they're searching for something to be wrong with them. I see a lot of these books floating around in people's houses. You know, I get in and out of people's houses quite a lot. You'd be surprised what we do.
So the other part of it is we do get up to some really weird shit, don't we?
Well, I used to do a lot of real estate, guys, and in and out of large, wealthy homes. Actually, a broad prospectus of homes. So I've been inside thousands of homes. You know, either doing a valuation or an evaluation or filming or something. And the books that you see will often tell you about the people that are living there. You know, what is wrong with me? What ailments do I have? You know, there's someone pregnant in the family when they've got that book, What to Expect When Expecting. You know, how congratulations. Oh, how did you know when that book is on the table? Things like this. So 100% recuperation.
So you've just sent me off on a
Totally
different tangent. I've just gone somewhere completely different. But so we're talking about, you know, people recognizing that something might not be quite right with them, or maybe that they're not 100% of where they want to be, in David's words. But how many people are, that's where I was going, how many people are married to their disease? I spoke to a beautiful girl, and I'm not going to say her name, over the weekend. I don't normally do clients over the weekend, but because of what happened with us on Thursday in Germany, I had to cancel her, bless her heart. So I ended up doing a session with her over the weekend, and she knows better. Like, she's been around me a long time, and I this and I that and I'm this and I'm that. How many people do you know that are actually married to their dis-ease in their body? So I have cancer. I am, you know, riddled with cancer. I have thyroid issues. I have you know, arthritis. I have polycystic ovaries. Like, they own this disease, and this is the really, really important area of healing, which many people don't even recognize. When you are saying it out there and bringing it in constantly, you know, you are validating it. I am is the most powerful statement that you can ever make for yourself. I am beautiful. I am abundant. That's the kind of words that you want to be using, because if you are starting to go down a route of, I am sick, I am, you know.
So what are you saying? Let's take cancer, which is mostly one. So you would say, I am in the middle of a battle against cancer, which I'm going to win.
So I would say I'm healthy.
I'm healthy.
Yeah. So I would completely turn it on its head, because when you say I have stage 4 cancer, the universe hears those words and it says, oh, you want more stage 4 cancer? Here you go. Oh. Because the universe never wants to let you down. You never, ever, ever want to let you down. The universe wants to give you everything. And this is why I say I'm actually working with my Self-Love Club membership at the moment on language. And this is an area which I love. And remember, we had a conversation early this morning. We won't talk about what it was about, but he used a word and I went, babe, that word really doesn't resonate. The word attack. Do you know that? I just said, like, that word, I don't think we should use it in that term. And when we spoke about it, you were like, oh shit, yeah, I never even thought about it.
It was only a snack attack.
But it's really important that you recognize the words that you're bringing in. And what was really funny is, a few hours later, I was filming the new moon video, and David comes in and he's like, oh my God, today's been so easy, Lucy. Like, it's just been so easy. Everything's gone to plan. And it's because his mood, his words, his actions were all following the fact that it was going to be an easy day for you.
Easy day today, yeah. Everybody was there. Everything went smoothly.
And on time and effectively, right? And this is the power of language. And it's the same with disease. It's the same with, you know, the physical ailments that we've got in our body. Do you need to go?
No, I'm just monitoring
cool.
it. Crack on.
So let's just talk about that a little bit more. I believe, and this is where David has learnt, I think, since we've been, you know, speaking and stuff over the last year.
Well, finish your sentence.
About the energetics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what David thought before then. In fact, what did you think before then?
Well, my views were, if you're a negative person, negative stuff used to happen to you. If you're always talking about being sick, if you're hypochondriac, saying, oh, I think I've got something wrong, you're going to attract that in. I was always in the mindset of, you know, the glass is always half full. It's more than half full. What's the matter with it? It looks great. So I was always on the positive side. I've never been hospitalized for a natural reason.
I like what you said there.
I had, well, apart from an appendix when I was 18, but I've been shot, stabbed, kicked, punched, thrown out of windows, crashed, motorcycles, cars, airplanes, everything. But that's not caused as natural things that go wrong with you. I'm still a very positive person. I'm positive I won't get in an airplane with him for sure. He keeps crashing them. So I always took it to be, if you're talking negative stuff is going to follow you and you're going to attract it into your life. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So from my perspective, I used to be the victim. I was so sick. And a lot of people don't know this about me. Unless you've read my book, a lot of people don't know. David always goes, I can't believe that was you. Mm-hmm. So from a young age, I was pretty fit and healthy. I was quite sick when I was a baby, but then I became pretty fit and healthy. At around 17, 18, just after my parents split up, I started getting tonsillitis, laryngitis, bronchitis. As a matter of fact, every single month I would be on antibiotics. Off the back of that, my hormones started playing up, which then led to polyps, fibroids, tumours within the womb. Notice I don't say my womb, the womb, okay? I don't want that shit back. On top of that, I had chronic digestive issues. Now, obviously, because I'm talking with you guys, I've set the intention that I'm not calling any of this stuff in, but I will try and be as careful as I possibly can be. So there was chronic digestive issues all through the whole of my digestive system. What do you call it? Hiatus hernia right up here in my stomach. You name it, I had it all going on. My hair has fallen out. Honestly, it's all gone on over the years. My skin was really bad where the hormones were kicking in, and I had to do certain things for my hormones, and it would just completely send my body off into a tangent. A lot of people talk about, having the issues of not being able to fall pregnant. Mine was quite the opposite. I actually was extremely, extremely fertile as I was going through the years of my life, which resulted in a number of situations, miscarriages and things that I wouldn't wish on anybody to go through. However, it compounds, all of the energetics going on in the body. Now, I was the victim. Oh my God, why am I in so much pain? Why have I got reflux? Why can't I go to the toilet for 2 weeks? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Why me? And I started to heal myself before I'd got over the why me, just so you know. So if you're still in that why me mode, don't worry about it. You will be able to do it. But then when I physically burnt out, I was working on the trading floor in 2014. I physically burnt out, like literally my body wouldn't work anymore. So I got forced to take time out. And as soon as I removed myself from that situation, I realized that I had called all of this in. I was unhappy. I was, upset. I was overweight. I was drinking too much. I was taking too many drugs. I was partying too much. It was literally, I love that. Reading your book now, Lucy. Wow, I couldn't put it down. Bring on book number 2. Oh, thank you. So this will resonate with some of you that have read the book. Like, I was that person. I was riddled with dis-ease. And I'm going to say this to you guys. Like, I chose that. I chose it because I wasn't prepared to be myself. I chose it because I wasn't prepared to be happy. I chose it because I wasn't prepared to say, fuck, I hate what I do for a living. Rather than recognizing that I was addicted to the money, I wanted the materials. I wanted that side of life. And I didn't realize it was killing me. It was so misaligned from the authenticity of who I actually am. And David will vouch for this. Like, I'm a nightmare, aren't I? I don't really, other than obviously I do a lot of traveling, I don't spend cool.
Well, 2 things. I'm glad I didn't know you back in 2014. You sound like a train wreck.
Read my book and you'll see what a better version you got.
What was the next part I'm supposed to either agree with or disagree with? What was the next part?
I'm just not a material person.
No, you're not.
Not at all.
I have to actually say to her, listen, do you have a pair of trousers that are not ripped at the knees? Because we're going to a semi-nice place for a lunch today. Would you put a pair of trousers that are not all ripped up like you've been rolling around with a tomcat?
It's not very often he says that, but sometimes he's like, Lucy.
I have to pull you up. But no, you're not materialistic. I mean,
No.
I helped her move, and I saw, I think, maybe 2 expensive bags, which are not here. I've never seen you use them. Your Louis, I suppose, that all women have. You're very low maintenance, really. You don't like shopping,
No,
which is good.
That drives me potty.
No Rome, Paris, or Milan. None of that stuff.
Me, thanks, babe.
So yeah, it is.
I'm more about breaking into castles and climbing up mountains, aren't I, darling?
Yeah. You are. And we haven't. What was the last one we did? Well, we're not allowed to say where we went after that. Well, I'll tell you where we did end up, which was an interesting one. We couldn't get a flight out of Germany, so we ended up in Santiago de Compostela.
Amazing.
Is it
Say it again.
Santiago de Compostela. Or is it O?
Yeah.
It's the very north of Spain.
Really
It's in Asturias. So it's the very northwest of Spain. We had to change flights there, so we had 6 hours there. Beautiful city. It was an amazing day, very warm. 20 minutes from the airport to right in the center of town, and we stumbled across another part of the journey that we were supposed to be doing. Trusted why we were there. I said, well, we're obviously here for some reason. Let's go downtown and figure it out. And bang, we hit straight on.
They're presented straight in our faces.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Anyway, let's get back to healing, because
that is part of the healing, though, isn't it? Because it was these places where we were. This part of Spain was a pilgrim's trail where people used to go there for healing. They'd walk from all over Europe on a specialized trail. It's on the Mary Magdalene line, if I'm right.
Yeah.
It comes straight across on that east-west basis, and that was the last part they could go to. The Camino, means road in Spanish. And we saw a lot of people still hiking. They were hiking, and there was a lot of men. Well, I saw two guys sitting on the street with a backpack saying, I have no money, I'm just relying on fate helping me, please help. But they went to these places for healing or something in the water, something what they believed, and they believed that had they done this 1,000-kilometer walk or 500-mile walk, whatever it was, that when they got to Santiago, it was going to heal them. And it became quite a famous place for healing.
Okay.
And that ties into faith.
Yes.
We also do.
Which we did something about as well, didn't we? Which was very, very interesting. Oh my God, it was such an interesting journey. Guys, next week, I promise you, we will share that with you. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, good luck. I'm moving him out of the way now. So basically, what I was saying about the healing journey is, I need you guys, first and foremost, to recognize that you have called it in. Secondly, I need you guys to realize that when you are in a place whereby you are in victim mode, or you are, you're not quite, I hope he's taking the keys, otherwise it means he's coming back to annoy me. When you're not quite in alignment with who you are meant to be, you get dis-ease in your body. So let's say, for example, you've got somebody out there's got a thyroid disorder, which is something that previously this beautiful vessel gave to me. Now, why? The thyroid is very much about speaking. It's very much about speaking your truth. It's very much about, if you think about it, your throat chakra is here. Now, if you are not speaking up, if you are suppressing your voice, if you believe that people don't need to hear you, if you think I should be seen and not heard, which is what all of us were told as children, it's extremely, extremely important that you recognize that you could be calling in something to do with your throat. Now, that may manifest as tonsillitis, laryngitis, things like that initially, but down the line, and this is exactly the process I took, because I didn't address it, I didn't start saying, fuck, I hate my job, oh my God, I don't want to be here, oh my gosh, I'm more aligned to this, this and this, because I just shut up and put up and carried on going, it then turned into thyroid. So this is the way that your body works. Your body is giving you from birth signs to say, hey, you're not in alignment. Now, I'm just going to speak about this very quickly. Now, I've been doing a lot of work on children recently, so I feel it's very, very important that I share this. If a child has something wrong, whether it be tonsillitis, laryngitis, something more serious like cancer. I've been working with a number of children with cancers and that kind of thing. Between about 14 and 16 is where the cutoff changes. So anything between 0 and about 14 to 16, it's the parents' stuff. The child has come through with the energetics of the parents to help the parents heal. I need to be very, very clear on this. So from 0, birth, conception, wherever you want to go from, I always tend to go from being conceived. But if you want to go from the day they were born up to about 14 to 16, depending on the child, depending on the circumstances, depending on the dis-ease that's in their body, it's the parents' stuff. Harsh to hear, but this is the truth. Okay, or at least it's the truth that I've been given. Now, after about 14, 16, so for me, I was born with seriously jaundice, and then I got whooping cough. So the two things that I had to resolve with my parents were around, bringing them together, connecting them to the heart, connecting them to the love, the ability to breathe and enjoy the fruits of life. Like, that was the messages that I had to give my family. Once they got that, admittedly, my parents split up when I was 15, 16. But what then happened was I started manifesting the dis-ease and the discomfort. That was quick.
Well, I'm going to go back
for myself.
Half an hour. He's all right.
All right. Okay. So you're right there, darling.
I was running.
Did you have to run?
I was running to get back.
And there's me out running 5K this morning. So,
Did you? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was that when I was still asleep?
Yeah.
Oh, so nice. She left and I woke up at 10 o'clock. Had a lie-in. That was brilliant. Sorry, when your family was split up.
Anyway, back to it, but it's true. I did. So yes, he is out of shape, Jason. Bless him. So basically what happened was I was healing my family in those first couple of things, and then 14, 16, it started to turn into me. Actually, it was 16 when it started to turn into me, because I really started to get sick around 18-ish. So it was my stuff. It was the trauma that I had perpetuated in my body. So I then had all the time that I felt that I had been given information that perhaps wasn't very nice. Or let's just talk about circumstances rather than me. Let's talk about circumstances. Let's say you were hit by somebody, you were beaten by your mother, or you were told that you weren't good enough, or you were constantly put down. Like, it's that manifestation of the dis-ease in your body. Okay, that is what happens and that will hit you 16 plus. Okay, and until you get the memo, you are going to keep being hit. So like I was saying a minute ago, it started with tonsillitis. It then manifested into underactive thyroid. Why? Because I wasn't dealing with it. As I was going through, I didn't actually say, shit, what's going on with this? Because I would just take antibiotics every single month without fail. I would be on penicillin, amoxicillin, you name it. And you know what I'm like. I'm a bloody nightmare. He'll say to me, Luce, you need some antibiotics. And I'm like, I'm not taking that shit. Yeah. Like, I will take anything, but like, I'm a nightmare now, because back then, and then obviously what happened with that is it created such a huge amount of issues in my gut. I had this thing called Helicobacter pylori. Very, very, very difficult to get rid of. And I actually had to take 3 rounds of antibiotics. I don't think I've ever told you this.
I've never heard of that one.
So yeah, so it's a serious bacteria in your stomach, and it feeds off of stomach acid. So you literally can't get rid of it. It's so dangerous. Now, normally what happens is you take 1 round of antibiotics of about 1,200 milligrams a day of a cocktail, and it goes. I had to take 2 rounds for 2 weeks. So 2 separate lots of 2 weeks of 1,200, and it was still there. So I had to have an endoscopy. It was still there. So about 3 weeks after that, 2 weeks after that, they put me on 2,200 different antibiotics, so milligrams a day, and I was on it for 3 weeks.
That must have wrecked your stomach, though.
Totally. Yeah. Totally. Absolutely horrific. And again, I called that in. Why? Because I was angry. Why? Because my dad had told me something when I was 8 that I didn't align to. And then all of these situations, my sister turning to drugs, me not being able to be, vulnerable, things like that. So of course, this anger was building up, and it was perpetuating these digestive issues that I had. So you guys need to get clear on where your emotional trauma lies, because where your emotional trauma lies is where your dis-ease will, create. So the way I like to say this, do you have any ailments?
Not that I'm aware of, but I would like to add something there.
Go on, please do.
See, the other side of the coin, my parents split up too. I had a pretty traumatic time with that. I was about 10, 11. In fact, it was the summer I was turning 11. And I went to live with my father, who was torn away from the family unit. But I never had any of these illnesses. I went through all of my life. I've never done any drugs in my life. I'm the most drug-free guy you've ever met. I've never tried ecstasy or cocaine, anything. None of that. It's never even gone into my mouth or my nose, in my system. I was never interested in alcohol.
I'll polish his halo for him.
I mean, alcohol, on the other hand, yes. I was working with it, meaning I was behind the bar a lot. And that's where you get mouthy, your brain gets good, you're very cheeky and fast-witted, and mathematics is great in there. It's a great learning curve for somebody to be a bartender. But I never got into the drug scene. I never got into the club scene. I was always hustling, getting a job, this job, working 2, 3. One time I had 6 jobs in a week to do. One of them was easy, it was walking dogs, and then the other one was just collecting something. I collected fish and brought it to a restaurant and got a good tip on it. But I was always working hard, so I've never suffered from any of this so much trauma that it gets me this ill that I attract it and have to go to hospital. I mean, the appendix we could probably pull into. What's appendix?
The
Anger?
appendix, yeah, discontent, hurt, resentment, those kind of things. Like that's what really hits. So any part of the digestive system is very much around anger, resentment, hurt. Shame is another one. You know, it's a real, it's an area. You know, feeling like the appendix is very much feeling like you're not getting what you deserve. You know, it's kind of that kind of thing.
Well, that would certainly fit the bill at the time. I was actually living in Aruba, and I was running a construction team of quite a few people building apartments, and I always thought, these Dutch bastards, they weren't appreciative. You know, I had to translate all the paperwork from Dutch into English and then from English into Spanish. So I learned 2 languages, and I think stress was a motivator for that.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you a question. Have you ever had acid reflux in your life?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had it today.
So
Was it yesterday?
You messed up big time saying that. So acid reflux, and a lot of people have experienced acid reflux. Acid reflux is anger. It's pent up anger, and your body doesn't know how to process it. So there is something that is angering you.
Oh yeah, there's loads of things that could piss me off. You know, authoritarian, anything to do with the authorities.
Oh my God, you should have seen him last week. Oh my God, you were okay with me, but oh my God, talking about them, my gosh, you know, like wow, we don't ever fuck with him when it comes to justice and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, he won't stand for it at all. So the other thing that I know that's gone on with you is your left ankle.
Yeah, I fractured that on a cliff stunt.
Right. Just before you go on, because I know you're going to explain, but anything like a fracture or a sickness like a chest infection or just a snotty cold or something like that, everything relates to emotional trauma, everything. So David was innocently doing a stunt, and it was just an accident, Lucy. It's never a freaking accident. Like, people are starting to learn it's never just a seminar when Lucy are doing it. It's never a freaking seminar. It's a whole shift and a whole shake the fucking wake up. That's the same as, like, you know, having a broken bone. So I broke my right hand 3 times because I didn't get the memo.
Yeah. Well, that's masculine side and aggressive. Obviously, you're hitting something. I know you got run over once. Was that it? When you got ran over?
No, babe.
No.
He makes me sound like a lunatic. Do you know that's the only thing that isn't?
That's in the book.
No,
it's not. Oh.
No, it's the one thing I didn't want in the book.
Well, I'd never broken a bone in my life, considering I was a professional stuntman for years. I'd never broken a bone in my life. I literally been hit in the face full on in the golf club. My nose didn't even break, and they've been broken my nose. Exceptionally thick boned. Was in the middle of a workout, discovered a nice little spot. I thought, oh, this is a great spot to come back and do some filming when we got the film. And then we did a stunt, simply jumping off the rock into the water, bang, and I fractured my heel bone. And that's the only thing I've ever broken. I was slightly confused and in disbelief, saying, "Nah, it can't be." It was just a tiny. It wasn't even very hard or very high, but sure enough, it was. And that's it. Still hasn't healed, and that's 6 years now.
Because the trauma's still there.
Trauma.
It's so funny because I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. But if and the reason I'm going to his ankle, and I'm going to come back to some comments. We've got some lovely comments on here. I'm going to come back to the comments in a minute because I just want to share how simple it is for you guys to realise, right? So if you stop and think about what an ankle does, what is an ankle?
Stops you kicking somebody's ass. That's
no,
what it does.
Stop it. So, guys, I will share all the links for the supplements. I've said that at the beginning. I promise you, I know you're eager beavers. I will share all of the links for the supplements. You'll just literally be able to click on it and buy it. Don't worry about it. I promise it will go in. So, yes, your ankle supports you. She's talking about your Achilles heel. Funny that. Hey.
Yeah.
So, you know, your ankle supports you. Your foot there is actually attached to the ankle. So what do you use your foot for? You step forwards. So David, when you break it down from an energetic perspective, the left-hand side is feminine. So what this would basically mean is that a prominent feminine female, mother, auntie, sister, any of the, like grandmother, any prominent, we won't go into who, unless you want to, of
No,
course. That prominent lady in his life as he was growing up have created issues with him feeling that he's got the freedom to just step forwards. And it took him until that accident to get the knock so that he realised it. But he's working on it now, aren't you?
What? So I'm not stepping forward. You see, I'm as confused as you are now. Am I not stepping forward? Am I have stepped forward? Have I identified the problem? What?
Well, the fact that it's still hurting. Oh, what do you reckon?
It bloody kills me, you know. It's when some of the challenging terrain, my foot will go. It gets him swollen, slightly swollen, but very painful. Lucy will get her magic fingers out and get on it.
Because I'm good like
the
that.
Achilles heel is the part that seems to be the tenderest. Turns out that one of the tendons hasn't moved back into the place where it's supposed to be, is what I've been told. But they said maybe it will, maybe it won't. But do I feel like having surgery on it? Not really. I don't want to have surgery.
No, if we do the energetics, we should be all right, and then get you some decent work. My point of going there with David is just to show you how simple it is. You know, your knees, what do your knees do? You know, like they move you forwards. What do your hips do? They support you. Like, just look at every area of what things actually do and how you can, you know, how you can break it down and just simplify it. Now, a couple of people have put in the chat about the Louise Hay book. Now, if you buy You Can Heal Your Life, or I don't know, something like that, basically at the back of that there's an alphabetic, there's basically the alphabet, and in there it kind of gives you a very high level as to what things mean. I believe it's amazing as a guide. Things have moved very, very significantly since then. I mean, she wrote this bloody years ago. She's an amazing woman, and I'm sure she channels me most of the time with the information that I get. But if you need something to support you, you can get it on paperback, probably for a few quid off of Amazon. So go and get yourself that. And like I say, it's literally at the back. If you want to read the book, read the book. But at the back, there is an alphabet which you can just flip through and actually get a little bit of insight into it. Lizzie, yeah, definitely, it's worth doing if you want a little bit of insight, but don't take it as literal. Just take it as a guide and then trust your intuition, if that makes sense, because since she wrote that, it's obviously improved a lot. So I've just got to say this because he gives me shit about this all the time. Someone said, Lucy, if you had your hair dyed, you look like a beach babe. He always says to me, Lucy, what the fuck are you doing with your hair? Don't you? See, people appreciate it.
Someone says about mine's just long at the moment.
She's only saying that because she said it to me.
We can also get the books on Raj's used books chat. But those of you who don't know, I do this character who's very inappropriate called so Raj. I've got an Indian friend. He's really inappropriate. So every now and again, I'll just drop in, something that's really inappropriate, and I'll whisper it to Lucy, and
it's totally inappropriate. In fact, I won't say that.
I just said maybe they can get it from Raj's secondhand book channel. He's shoplifted all these books, and he sells them online. It's just something goofy we do together. So.
Yeah, we do. We have fun, babes, don't we? Thank you. I am precious. I know I'm precious.
Precious.
See?
Precious.
You should appreciate me more. No, he does. He really, really does. Okay, so let's take a little take a step back. We haven't really had much sun, have we? I know I was sat out in the sun the other day. Maybe that's made my hair look more sunny.
No, we've been traveling so much. We've been in colder countries. We were in the UK a lot. I was in Germany 3 times.
Yeah.
And we've been so busy. We're never really out. We're either in the studio or back at home eating. So we're always sort of busy.
We did sit out in the sun in Santiago, though.
Yeah, you caught with the sun.
So did you?
Show me downlights.
No, I'm not going to show my tan lines.
Show me downlights, man.
They don't need to see my tan lines. They can see your forehead.
It's a nice day. Today was nice. It was 20 degrees, but we were doing emails all day. Lucy did about 4 shows today.
Yeah, I've been a busy girl today.
Mondays are busy for you, aren't they?
Yes, and I've got hours to go yet. Whilst he's off out enjoying himself.
Mondays I get to go and see the chaps and catch up. But so I'm going to do that later.
I would like Raj to be on the naughty step, Lizzie. I banned him for a few months, didn't I? I said to him, babe, it's too much. Like, you have got to just stop with this shit. Like, you need to put it to bed. I'm not tolerating it anymore. And then he was kind of getting really boring, and I was like, oh, maybe you should bring him back a little bit.
I'd ring up the local Indian restaurant, make reservations, say, hey, brother, I'm coming down with about 6 friends of mine, right? Give us the best seats there.
He's a fucking nightmare. Like, I have to live with this.
It's funny.
Send help!
It's
Send
funny.
help!
All right, mate, come on down. Where are we going next? And get me grab the supplement because you haven't got them there.
Oh, please, babe. Yeah, that would be really good. Okay, so ladies and gents, the supplements that I take and the supplements that I spoke about the other day, and these literally rescued David's arse the other day. I will put a direct link for you to sign up. They are these little bad boys, okay? They're called Juice Plus. They're available everywhere around the world, like literally everywhere around the world. And they are literal fruits and vegetables in a vegan capsule. It's as simple as that, okay? So I'm going to pop the link in the description field, and I'll also pop it in the comments for you. All you need to do is literally click on it. I'll put it so you can sign up for the 3. But if you want to just get the purple ones or whatever, just do what you want. All the different links will be in there. Now,
what have I done?
I would love you to share your experience on these because you were sick, weren't you?
Yeah, I got bronchial pneumonia a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't being cleared up. I've got all the antibiotics all over. Yeah, I've got amoxicillin. I've got them all, but it just wasn't doing it. Now, what I could have done was up the dosage, but that didn't seem to work. So what I did is I got on these and it killed it in 2 days. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So just so you know, guys, because
I'm back in 5. Yeah.
So just so you know, I've been taking these for 9 years, and I wouldn't take anything else. Like David will often say to me, "Oh, try this, try that," and I'm like, "Babe, no, I'm good. Like I'm good." All these literally are is a massive dose of nutrients. There's 14 different fruits and vegetables, and you basically get they're made in or they're grown in nutrient-rich soils, and basically they are just picked and pulped and frozen and popped into capsules very, very quickly. The process is amazing, and I've been taking them for a long time now because they are literal fruits and vegetables. David just doubled up, so he took double the amount, and that's it. Yes, we did all of the oils and stuff like that. I mean, we've got those going all of the time. But the supplements are the thing that just cleared it up so quickly. Now, David is a meat eater, as you guys know. I'm not. I don't eat that. I don't eat meat at all. I literally have fruits and vegetables. So for me, this is amazing to just pump up my nutrients. What I realized very quickly with him was that he clearly isn't getting any nutrients from his food. Otherwise, he wouldn't be getting sick like that. So please, 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 if you are somebody that needs to boost your immune system, please, please, please do get on them. They are amazing. They're not the cheapest supplements in the world. I just wouldn't buy anything else. Like that is my staple. What were you saying? What's your thoughts on supplements and superfoods, David and Lucy? So I'm a massive fan of all of it, like a massive fan of all of it. I don't take all of them. Like I don't have, just absolutely everything. There's so many things to think about these days. Like I say, these are a staple that I have. I'm actually going to get back on a vegan omega, but that's for something else that I won't talk about tonight. And there was one other thing that I was going to do as well. Yeah, I agree, Joe. You do get what you pay for. And like I say, I've been taking these 9 years. Like I don't even want to know how much money I've spent, but I just don't care because they work and they align with my body. And actually, these are one of the things. If you read in my book about these weird and wonderful coloured pills that nurse gave me, can you guys see that? They're red, they're green, and they're bright purple. So like these are the weird magic pills that nurse gave me in my book, and I've been taking them ever since then. Ever since then. So obviously David has. Now I don't know what he does. I'll be honest with you, I don't. But what I would like to say to you guys is, if you've got something like cancer or whatever, yes, let's get to the energetics of why that's happening. And I'm going to start working with David on this. So as you guys know, he showed you earlier, he's got these apricot. I think they're called apricot kernels, like it's something like that. I don't know. Basically, he's got those. So if you have cancer, then that is an amazing thing to just start to help get in and start to break that down. However, I do not believe that any of us should be giving medication, supplements, or any of that stuff without actually looking at the energetics of what is creating the issue in the first place. So David has asked me to work with him going forward so that we can produce some videos for the people that, whether they sign up for supplements or whether they sign up for cancer, whatever, so that we can actually start to help people really look and break down the energetics as to what is going on behind. Like, let's not mess about with this. Like, I'm not one of these people that's like, hey, we need to go down and get the advice from the doctor. I truly believe we need to get aligned to what is creating the issue within the physical vessel, and we attack it from every direction. Now, that is how you heal your life. Like I say, guys, I went from being riddled to absolutely free from everything. So, you know, and all I took was these. I didn't take anything else. So it's very, very, very important that we start to look at how this happens. Now, by cleaning up your act, by cleaning up your foods, by cleaning up your choices, you will start to just navigate away from making the choices that make you sick. You know, as soon as you start to have the right level of nutrition in your body, you don't make crap decisions anymore, ladies and gents. So we need to start somewhere. Now, some people like to start on the physical, like with the exercise. Some people like to start with the food. What I did, I started with exercise and then I got on the food, because the exercise, I was realizing that the food wasn't nourishing me and I just needed a little bit more. So I went for a little bit more in the shape of these because of that beautiful nurse. If you remember, I was out running for a fight in Thailand when I was doing Thai boxing, and I was just sat on the side of the road and I was crying my eyes out because I had no energy. That's when she gave me this. That's when I got in alignment with the nutrition, and that's when I went off on my journey. I was just explaining to them that we are going to be looking at the energetics with the stuff you do as well. So with the apricot stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
I did my best explaining
Well, it's quite easy. Basically, B17 was discovered about 30 years ago, and how it treated cancer tumors, because basically reduced them. There's something in the apricot kernels, the seeds, that work. So what we did was we refined these now. This is 99.9% straight from the plant. And I've been getting great results. People have been emailing me and texting me.
You're right, darling.
After all the running, 4 flights of
Do you
stairs.
want me to just like hold space for you for a minute?
No. So we do those with now I've got a B15 activator, which gets it into the system quicker. But you got to use it with ivermectin, because most cancer victims suffer from parasites. So you take 112 milligram ivermectin pill a day, mix it with the B17, change your diet. No animal protein, that includes dairy. So you got to go completely and strictly vegetarian, and you'll get really good results. There are some other things that I'm adding on now. We've developed something called the Vax Attack Pack, which is a glutathione-based what was it called? It's a liquid, and it gets into your system so fast and so effective that it'll identify the graphene oxide, break it down, and it'll pass it. The Spanish group, the Quinta Columna, have been testing a form of glutathione, but what we did, liposomic is the word, we've refined it to such a stage now that it gets in your system so fast and so strong. It's just a shot. It tastes like oranges. And then I've got something called Genesis, which is basically a hunter-destroyer of tumors. So this whole, because my mother got cancer, I got into it such a strong and fast way. I started going all over the place, research, and now I've got such a strong range of products, anti-cancer, as well as, you know, the COVID stuff.
So someone here is saying, does it get rid of fatty tumors?
We're not sure, actually. That's quite a good one. That I know the Genesis has been particularly good on breast cancer tumors and also prostate. So, because the guy that developed it for him and his wife, and we noticed that there was a lot of T cell restructuring going on in the system. I'm going to do a really good interview with this. He's a double PhD, and I don't know, is it molecular? I don't know what it is. I've forgotten this science anyway. So liposomal, yeah, that's the one. We still got some ivermectin, but it's getting really short in supply now, guys. And we've lost quite a few shipments recently because they've been seriously clamping down on it. The hydroxychloroquine is an anti-malaria based drug that we use in conjunction with the ivermectin for COVID symptoms. But the ivermectin alone, it's great for so many other things. You know, the parasites are in your system. You've got to have it. The hydroxychloroquine, I had an email today from a client here in Spain, only about 2 kilometers, saying her husband got sick after coming back from Dubai, because there's so many vaccinated people out there. The hydroxys.
Careful with that word.
The hydroxychloroquine is very effective on combating people that have been silly enough to walk into that place and get, you know, rolling up the sleeves. So either one of those two, you can find them all on mahoneylive.com. Feel free to ask any questions.
The link's in the description, guys.
Yeah.
So if you want anything that he's talking about, the link's in the description. What I will do is post the link for the supplementation in the description and also in the comments. If there's anything that you need from David, we'll look at the comments over the next couple of days. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it tonight because I'm busy and he's out. So you ain't going to get any sense from him till tomorrow afternoon.
I forgot about the recog. We've got another one that was developed for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's sufferers. There's a very long technical name for it. I've called it recog, as in recognitive treatment. It's helped me a lot as well because I'm not confused. It's just too much going on. I'll forget stuff. I should really keep a diary and write things down, but I don't. I've been taking it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, maybe a bit more, but not consistently. But I have seen some effects in remembering. I've noticed my vocabulary has got better when I'm doing the interviews. I'm more fluid and consistently delivering
just
the
not
words.
when he's speaking to his girlfriend.
Nah, just shut up then. What you want to talk about? Nah.
That doesn't matter. Oh, it's bye. Okay.
So, but going back to these things, Lucy told me about these when we first met. She gave me some periodically on the road here and there.
When he was sick.
When I was sick. And of course, you don't track it because you're with somebody for a weekend or 3 days, you take them. But they also come in a chewable form for children. Have you talked about them?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
So with these, if you've got a child, you can actually sponsor a child. I think the child is up to 21, so not really a child, let's be honest about it. So what you can do is you can get a version like this for them for free, but in a chewable version. So just bear that in mind as well. If you've got any questions on that, drop me a message because it's a little bit complicated to explain, but it's exactly the same principle. They get 7 fruits, 7 veggies, and I think they're amazing.
Yeah, I felt the difference with them.
We tried them.
I take them every day now. I'm on doubles at the moment. I was on quadruples before when I was sick. But really, bronchial pneumonia is not fun because you get a raspy breathing. I've had it once before when my system got very run down. It happened to me last week. I had a cold for 3 weeks. And then, of course, what happens is it stays in your system and you get more of an infection. And then, bang, I got it. So I was like, oh. So the amoxicillin, which I have and we supply as well, didn't work for me on that one.
He tried everything before he listened to me.
Yeah.
And then when he listened to me, oh, babe, I'm feeling better.
Yeah, 2 days. It took 2 days. And then by day 4, totally gone. There's nothing there now.
Thank God it's not anymore because it was like all night. I'm like, God, I talk, but my gosh.
Wow, that's the recog for you. Bringing everything back online. Speaking of talking, I'm going to say goodbye because I've got to go down and finish off the delivery, guys. And it's always a pleasure, guys. We look forward to Mondays very much sharing what we've been doing, and we hope that what we pass on to you is going to be of some use. Lucy's stuff is amazing. I sit at the other side of the camera, and sometimes in the other room, if I'm making a coffee or something, I listen to her talk, and I'm like, where does it come from? And you still amaze me. So have fun. Bye-bye.
Aw, how cute is that? He can come again, can't he, ladies and gents? I'm just going to answer a couple of the questions on here. How sweet was that? That was really nice. He actually said that to me earlier today. He's like, babe, I was listening to you film and oh my God, you're amazing. I was like, oh, that's so bloody cute, isn't it? You don't get to see this side of him on his channel, do you? No, it's just let's not keep her on camera. Like, let's keep her away from people. Let's like hide her so nobody knows. Bless him. What a sweetheart. So in regards to the chewables for your autistic son, yes. Can I please just ask you as a massive favor, and I know you've probably heard me say this many times before, drop the label with him, babe. Like I know you need to say it to obviously speak to me about it, but drop the label, babe. He doesn't need it. He's such a beautiful being. The gummies will help massively. Really, really big time. They will help big time with anything like that. Boosting the immune system is really, really helpful to anybody, whether you're old, whether you're young, whatever. It doesn't matter. If you are going through anything, whether you've had this, whether you've not had it, just boost your immune system, ladies and gents, because you know that we don't get the nutritional value in our food anymore. So for me personally, it's a no-brainer. For those of you that don't know, I qualified as a nutritionist back in 2017, I think it was. like I finished my degree, and although I don't practice nutrition because I just channel what people need, like I went through that, so I know how we don't ever get enough nutrition into our bodies. So please, 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 you know, I've got so many people that take these capsules just because I was like, yeah, you should take these, yeah, you should take these, and they noticed a massive difference in their body. So, you know, like I say, that was part of my protocol for me to help clear up everything that I had. Can you share something I can use energetically to heal the left side hip knee? No, because if I do that for you, Joan, I'm going to have to do it for every other of the 200 and however many people on here. So I don't think that's fair. I am going to be doing a healing day a healing evening next month in March. And what that will be is you can come along, it'll be on a Zoom, and I will literally, I'm not going to be going into everybody's ailments, but I'll be taking you to a place where you can choose to heal your life. So it's up to you guys if you want to come along to that. More information will be coming out on that super, super soon. If you have any questions or anything like that, please do pop them in. I will do my best to go back through these. But yeah, get on whatever feels right to you. If something feels good, if something feels right, just get on it. And Joan, yeah, definitely. If I was you and you want to heal something and you're dead cert that you want to heal something, you have to come along, and you have to come along with I don't have an issue with my hip, you know, because I'm going to remember what it feels like, because that's the process that I'll take you through. Probably about 2.5 hours. And again, no doubt David will be sat there wide mouthed going, shit, how do you do this with people? Just as a complete side note, I have had people that came to Soul School, they walked in with an issue and they walked out with no issues. And that's not what Soul School is about. Soul School is about, you know, activating the soul to come back online. And literally they turned up, they did 2-day seminar with me, and then that was it. They're like, oh, my issues have gone. So I just really, really, really want you guys to know, I don't know how I do it. I don't profess to be a healer. People often say to me, I need a healing session with you. And I'm like, but I don't heal people. All I do is hold space for you to remember, and I take you to the place where you remember, because that's all I did with myself. I took myself to a place where I remembered, and then I lived it and I breathed it, and no matter what happened to me, I was batting it away. I'm not doing it, not doing it, not doing it. All the times where it would have been easy to step into victim, all the times that it made, you know, so many things could have taken me off my feet, but I am not prepared to do it. And I am not prepared to do it ever. Like I was with David, like this is a testimony for these, right? David was sick twice, once in December and once in the last month or so, twice with the same thing. Started as a chest infection, and then it stepped into like bronchial pneumonia, as he said. Now, I have been in bed with him every single day during those periods of time. Have I been sick? No. I'm saying nothing. One thing I will say is a comment somebody asked earlier is, how do I get my protein when I'm a vegetarian? Like, guys, you are told you need a lot more protein than you do. You don't need the amount of protein that they tell you. It's nonsense. Okay, you can get protein from pumpkin seeds, you can get protein from broccoli, you can get protein from all of the fruits and vegetables. You just need to have a varied diet. Okay, that's my recommendation. If you want to eat meat, but for me personally, have at least half a plate of fruit and veggies. Like, I know that people like Mark Atwood goes, no, just eat the meat, and I'm not judging them for that. But it's very important to recognize that the plants will activate the DNA within you, because you are a plant. You are a living organism, okay? And that is how you can activate your body, activate your immune system, and be in such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful space. Oh my God, I love this subject so much. I should talk about this so much more. I get so much passion. And maybe what I'll do is I will do a healing session for the reproductive system as well at some point. So for the men's testes and for the ladies' ovaries and uterus. So maybe I will look to do that as well. It's extremely, extremely important. My son's eye has started to realign since Soul School. It's been turning out since he was 3. Why is that, Rachel? Because old Mama Bear is getting into alignment, so now he is going to mirror back. This is the magic of the way that I work with people. I don't just impact you, I impact your whole freaking family, right? They don't even turn up to the seminars and they get the benefits. This is about how it's very important to learn the art of mirroring and how we as a human being create our 100% reality. All right. I am going to go. Like I said, I'm not going to start dissecting all of your ins and outs of what's going on with you, because it's not fair. I can't be doing that with everybody, which is why I use David, and which is why I use myself, because it's very, very easy to, just be able to deal with that. Anyway, my next book is not going to be on nutrition, although there is a recipe book coming out, because I've been badgered for it for about 4 years. Because I love food. I actually posted a recipe that I did today, and already I've got, please give us the recipe book, Lucy. Please give us the recipe book. David was going to take me for lunch, and then he realised the restaurant that he really wanted to take me to was closed. So I was like, okay, I'll just rustle something up, and then I just shared it in my Instagram stories. So do go and check that out. I will share the links in here in a moment, guys. I haven't shared them yet. I will share them in a minute. Please remember to hit the thumbs up before you go. Very, very important. Conscious Conversations, I will see you in an hour, you gorgeous bunch of babes. Self-Love Club, I will see you in 2 hours, because one of us is going to be changed to our laptop this evening. I love you guys. Have the most beautiful evening, and I will see you super, super soon. Lots of love, guys. Take care.